And it's another Saturday at Hampstead. He's sending you lots of love. Just put another 6K in the bag. You can follow me on Strava. Hold me accountable. And folks, it's been another crazy week of the COVID-19 lockdown, coronavirus all around the world. So much information going out there. We don't know really what to believe, what to trust. You hear things from the government, from mainstream media. And here at London Real, we're trying to put out as much information as possible, from David Icke to Dr. John Campbell. I had an interview this week with Dr. Judd Brewer that talks about depression and anxiety and how we're feeling all right now. And then yesterday, to top it all off, my dear friend Greg Braden was on the show, who's been 3 times on London Real, who had an amazing take on what's happening right now that I'd like to share with you. We tried to stream that live. I apologize. There was some bandwidth issues or some other mysterious issues that some of you are calling for. I don't believe that we were being blocked, but we're going to get that out to you on Sunday. So just keep an eye out for that email. We'll have that whole interview. We got it all. And, it's been one of the hardest working weeks we've ever had in London Real's history. I know that's hard to believe, but for us, I feel calling to put out this information. So I think we streamed live 5 times this week, trying to get stuff out to you. We've been blessed by having a skeleton crew at the headquarters to put out this information. And hopefully you've been following it. Hopefully it's helped you in some way. Again, we feel a real obligation to get the real information out there. And that's what Greg was talking about last night. He said, Brian, we need people like you to put out these messages because it's hard to know who to trust. And at the end of the day, you have to make the decision. And that's what David Icke said. You have to say what's in your heart and believe what's in your heart. And I'm trying to just give you as much information as possible so you can make the call by listening to governments, to mainstream media, to us, to experts, and then you make decisions based on your life because it's a free country. And again, I'm in complete abidance by everything the government is saying right now and social distancing, and that seems to be hopefully working. I want to talk about something Greg Braden talked about yesterday with me, which that is, this is coronavirus 2020, the new normal. Your life will never be the same again. Your business will never be the same again. We will never do things ever the same again. And Greg told me that, Brian, we are all in a state of grief. You are grieving right now, whether you know it or not. The whole world is grieving. And we've never had this happen before because the world has never grieved at once. We've had individual nations grieve, or individual populations grieve, or age groups or religious groups, but never all one together. And we're grieving this way of life that's been taken away from us, where we could go out to dinner with friends, where we could touch and hug each other, where we could gather for sporting events or religious events, where we could travel on planes any place we wanted, where we had these freedoms, and they're gone. And when you take away something, there are 5 stages of grief that have been well documented. And Greg said that we're going through them now. And if you know you're going through them, it makes it much easier to process. And I'm going to try to tell you on what they are. And sometimes I get these wrong. But the first one is denial. No, this is not happening. The second one is anger. You get angry about the situation. The third one is depression. You get really, really sad. The 4th stage is bargaining. You try to bargain and try to say, no, let's make it this way. And the final one is acceptance. And as I'm saying that to you, you might be going, oh my gosh, Brian, that's been me. And I've felt those stages as well. And I had a couple bouts with the depression stage for about 15, 20 minutes where I had to really pull myself out of it because I caught myself, and that's not normally a way I feel. And we've all been going through these things. And if you get stuck in one, it makes for a very difficult time in your life. But if you can recognize that this is what you have to do to get to acceptance, which is the new normal of what's happening, how can you live your life now in these circumstances? That's when you can try to find that peace and that resolution. And Greg said that the decisions we make now are going to determine the future we have and whether we can grow from this experience or whether we're going to be hurt by this experience. And I think this is an incredible time for us to grow as people, for us to be grateful. I talk a lot about gratitude. Hell, a lot of people talk about gratitude. And it's like blah, blah, gratitude, blah, blah, gratitude. But I think we all are grateful right now for the things that we used to have, like these amazing freedoms we used to have. And I think we see a lot of people cooperating. God damn it, if the Democrats and the Republicans can cooperate and actually say nice things about each other, something epic must be happening here. And, I said to Greg yesterday, Greg, with Greg and many guests on London Real, at the end of the episodes, I said, Greg, we feel so divided as a people. What are we going to do? This always comes up on London Real. And he's like, I don't know, Brian, but until we all become and realize we're one, we're never going to be where we need to be. And I feel like this coronavirus, with all of its madness and pain and death, might actually be showing us that. The question is, can we learn from this? Or are we going to go back to our same old bullshit when all this is over? And that's what I worry about a little bit. And so it's something I want you to think about as you continue to be on lockdown for the next few weeks. How can you make a material difference in the way you live your life, the way you communicate, the kindness you give to others, to where we can get something out of this, could be one of the greatest things to happen to us as a species, or it could just be a blip and we go back to business as usual. So just wanted to throw that stuff at you. Meditate on what I said a little bit with those 5 stages. I think it's super important. And look, I'm going to try to keep putting the information out there for you. It's been fascinating for me to watch your reactions to people like David Icke, Dr. John Campbell. I'm going to curious what you say about Greg Braden. Greg said, Brian, we were designed for this. That's what he said. Human beings were designed not to survive in these things, but to thrive. There's evidence in our DNA. We've been dealing with the flu and overcoming it for over 2,000 years. We're designed to get through this stuff. Our biology is designed, and we will get through this, and we'll find the code and we'll move on. And that's a beautiful thing. And while Greg was very optimistic of a vaccine, he said, a lot of us aren't going to need that because we are going to get it, and our immune system is going to figure this thing out. And flattening the curve is an amazing idea, and we want to save as many lives as possible and not overwhelm the healthcare system. But then we want to do what we do best, which is to let this human species deal with this disease. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with vaccines on the horizon. I know a lot of people are working really hard on them, and I hope everybody can stay optimistic, because I am, and Greg is as well. And I think we're starting to see lights at the end of the tunnel. And just what I hope is that we don't miss this valuable lesson we were just shown. I've had a bunch of people on London Real that have had near-death experiences. Anita Moorjani, Robert Kiyosaki, and they all came back super strong because they saw their own death and they had a real realization. Did we see our own death as a species? Because if we did, we might come back as these generous, kind, beautifully vibrating, energetic people. And if we don't, we might come back as a bunch of cunts, like we've been for the last few years. So that's my final thought to you. I hope you're well. Sending you lots of love. I hope you caught my coronavirus workout yesterday. If you didn't, go check it out on YouTube. Go to the very end, because I got all crazy at the end after all those burpees and I started speaking like Muhammad Ali and talking about my vision for the future. I'll try to drop that somewhere else. But that's it. Keep your social distance. Let's flatten this goddamn curve. Let's be kind to others. Let's be generous. And let me know what you need from me, and I'll be trying to blast it out. I ain't going nowhere, motherfuckers. I ain't gonna stop working. I'm back in there. I'm broadcasting. I'm making things happen. And that's it, baby. We're gonna make it through this. We're going to come together as one, and we're going to be better and stronger for it. All right, peace out from London.